Hey y'all, what's up? It's me, Danny TV, back at it again with a new video for y'all. Um, I actually tried to make a new video for y'all like last week, but it was too hot outside, and I made 3 different attempts. People kept getting in the way, constantly getting in the way. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just wait till it get a little cold out. So it's a little cold out. Y'all see, I got my coat on and stuff like that. And I like it. It's a chill day at the park. Nobody's really outside, so um, and I like this setting that I'm in too. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you to all my new supporters, everybody that is supporting me. I appreciate y'all for real. Um, Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I make a new video. I know a lot of people have problems with the notification bell. I don't even know how to go around that. But just, stay in tune. Make sure y'all check frequently, know, um, to see if I made any videos or anything like that, if the notification bell ain't working. And most importantly, get these videos out, share them, subscribe, have your family subscribe, but other than that, I appreciate y'all support. So, I definitely want to talk about these hospitals and being a woman of color and the treatment that we receive in these hospitals, especially when you're pregnant, especially. First and foremost, y'all, first and foremost, a lot of black women experience problems in the hospital. A lot of pregnant black women have bad experiences in these hospitals or at the doctor's office with the OBGYNs. And then I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had these many issues in my life. Like, for real. Why I say that is because as I got older, I see that being a black woman, the treatment that we receive versus other women of other races in the treatment that they receive. You go into the hospital for something serious that you need the doctors to actually look into. All they do is push medication. All they do is push medication. They and don't go in there by yourself, because if you go in there with no support and by yourself, oh, that's when it's really a problem. That's when they look at you as a real true target. Sadly, you know, this is why us as black women, pregnant and all, you have to go to the hospital with as much support as possible. Make sure you bring your partner, your mom. At your doctor's appointments, bring your partner, bring your mom, whoever you could think of that's willing to support you and speak up for you or speak up with you and voice their opinions as well, because us as black women, we get treated so wrong. Like, they focus on all the wrong stuff in these hospitals and these doctors' offices, more so like our personal lives, instead of focusing in on the health and how can they treat us with, like, this is another thing. If a patient tells you, I'm not interested in medications, let's try to figure out other routes we can go. Maybe let's do some testing, refer me to a specialist, something like that. You should listen to your patient. I don't understand how people sit up here, these doctors sit up here and they get mad when you decline taking medications. For instance, me, I am more so like all for the natural home remedies. I use medication as a last resort. I don't like medications. Never. As a young kid or as a teenager, I was brainwashed into that. So, of course, I thought that stuff like that would help. But when I turned about 16, that's when I knew that medication is just BS, to be honest. So I'm all for natural home remedies. I'm all for that. But when a doctor gets upset with me because I don't want to take medication and she questions it and she puts it in my profile as a question mark, we got a problem. You, as a doctor or physician, you need to stay in your place and respect my wishes as a patient, because I have every right as the patient to decline the medication that you're recommending. And then some of them don't even be giving recommendations. They just be giving options, like, oh, well, maybe you should take Tylenol. Tylenol doesn't work. Maybe you should drink caffeine. If caffeine doesn't work, stay hydrated with water. But if you drink caffeine, ain't you going to be dehydrating yourself overall? Because if I sit here and I tell you that I'm drinking caffeine every single day to stop my headaches, ain't you going to question that? Like, the chick was so confused, y'all. She was so confused. She confusing herself, because she telling me, like, have you tried caffeine? I'm like, actually, I have, and that didn't work. Caffeine with Tylenol. Oh, I have, and that didn't work. Different strokes for different folks. I'm like, I'm more so focused in on drinking water constantly. Like, I try to drink as much water as possible. So then she was like, so how much water do you drink? Because we're supposed to drink blah, 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 blah amount of water. I think she said 64 ounces or something like that of water a day. And I said, oh, trust me, I have a big jug and I use that and I drink that throughout the day. So I know for a fact that I drink enough water. So she side-eyed me, right? And then she was like, but you just said that you don't drink water. I said, no, you got it twisted. I said that I do drink water. Just want to cause friction for no fucking reason. And then she was like, well, you should try caffeine. But if I sit here and I tell you that I drink caffeine every day to get rid of my headaches, then you're going to look at me with the side eye and tell me that I'm not drinking enough water and I need to stop drinking caffeine. Y'all need to stop confusing yourselves as physicians and nurses. Real talk. This is exactly why I would prefer to take care of myself at home more so than go to the doctor. But I don't. So, and then, like, she was really trying to, like, cause confusion or whatever, because she seen I was by myself at that point. My husband did not come into the hospital with me that day because the parking situation, So he stayed in the car. But this is when they target us black women when we're by ourselves. Now the next questions came from the physician. And she's talking about how, she's focusing in more so on my personal life, other than the fact, other than the reason why I was there in the first damn place. So is you and your spouse getting along at home? Why is that your concern? I never gave anybody any reason to suspect that me and my spouse was fighting or arguing or anything. But again, why is that your concern? Yeah, we have to ask these questions by protocol. Okay, I get y'all protocol, but the nurse asked me that when I first came through the door. She asked me a bunch of questions. Talking about, yeah, a lot of patients feel uncomfortable when we ask these questions, but we have to ask them. Are you living in a safe environment? Are you and your spouse currently together or something like that? I don't know all the questions, but I answered them because I know that they do that, But for you as a physician, after the nurse, to come in to my room and consistently ask me the same question over and over and over and over again, why is that your concern? And I looked at her and I'm like, she was like, oh, I'm sorry, we just have to ask these questions. I'm like, you just asked me. Like, you just, every time she came in the room, she kept asking me the same question. Then she turned around and she started asking me questions about my kids, talking about, do they live at home with me? Who are they with? Why? Why? And this is what I'm talking about, because at that point, you have became a target to them, and they love targeting us black women. They love taking our babies away from us. You know, that's all they think about. They don't even think about how they can resolve a situation. Even if I was going through a tough situation and I ran to the hospital for help, because technically, if you are in a tough situation, especially like housing wise or whatever, the hospitals are there to give you referrals. They have referral services and things like that. They are there to assist you in that matter, you know, not to discriminate, not to talk down on y'all, you know, not to bash you or anything like that, or question your situation and make it a damn problem. But quite frankly, I'm not going through that. I had that situation happen to me before, when I told a hospital that I needed help with housing. And you know what they did? You know what they did, y'all? They took that and used it against me. Straight up. That's a lawsuit, for real. They took that, they used it against me, and instead of trying to help me and assist me, they called DCFS. I'm talking about, like, us as black women in this then, and this is when I was in a hospital, when I was pregnant with my son. So if you can go back and you can look at the videos from when I was pregnant with my son. I was in the hospital, and when I had gave birth to him. Now, the whole entire month that I was there, I told them that I needed help with housing. I told them that. You know, they refused to assist me. Instead, they kept telling me, we don't have any referrals, anything like, and I knew it was BS, because they helped me before, you know, so I knew that it was BS at that point. And I felt like, and my intuition was telling me like they was up to no good, and at that point I should have just left, because they were focusing in too much on traumatizing me, more so than trying to help me. And they took that and they used it against me, and they waited till my son was born and they called DCFS up there to try to take custody of my son, all because I said I needed help with housing. That is just, and it's sad, because I'm gonna be honest with you, if it was a white woman or a woman of any other race, they would have helped her, because the lady in charge was very prejudiced. She was very racist. Very racist. And I'm like, how are you in charge of trying to help women with housing here at this hospital? Or you in charge of, you know, making sure that women have a safe place to stay, but you choose who you want to help. And it definitely ain't black women. And come to find out, it was a lot of other black women that started to complain about the same exact thing at that specific hospital, saying that they have experienced the same exact thing. Which is, and we need to come together and really like try to file a lawsuit for real, because if y'all doing stuff like that for money, that shit is crazy. This is why I say, us as black women, we need, like, when it's time for you to go into the hospital, to have your baby, you need to have a really big room full of support. And I know it may be hard. It's hard because a lot of us have problems with our family, unfortunately. It's a lot of people we don't trust in the same room as us. So it's hard, but I do recommend also, that you have, if you got to have a midwife, if you got to have a doula, if you got to have friends, people that you can really lean on for support to, hey, I'm about to have a baby. Could you come up here to the hospital? I need you here with me. Just I don't feel like as a black woman, you should be by yourself. Another thing I want to talk about too is another thing I want to talk about too that I learned from my cousin a long time ago is once you push your baby out, request to keep your baby in the same exact room as you. They do not have to take your baby out of the room once you push him or her out for hours at a time. Request to keep your baby next to you. If they want to wash the baby up, they can wash the baby up right in front of your face. Request that you want skin to skin contact for at least an hour, because I know they gotta weigh the baby and they gotta clean the baby up and stuff like that. But they can't, if you request as the mother that, hey, I want my child here in the same exact room as me, I know that they might, oh yeah, we have to do like the immunizations and stuff like that. Okay, well, how long is it finna take y'all? Don't take no 5 hours with my child. If you gonna do that, you can either do it right here or bring him or her right back in the room once you're done. Or you can have your partner or whoever follow them to the room to watch them through the window and watch and see everything that they doing. I don't trust these hospitals and these doctors, and I don't trust these nurses. I have seen way too many, not only just, when it come down to CPS and DCFS, but I have seen way too many incidents with black women trusting these doctors. Did y'all see the one where the black girl and her boyfriend or whatever went into the hospital because she was about to give birth? She was in labor. She pushed her baby out. And did they give her, I think they gave her either a C-section or she pushed her baby out. I don't know. But they pretty much freaking amputated the damn baby's head off. The head came off the body, and she ended up filing a lawsuit. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I get that y'all be wanting money out this situation. See, the first thing that black people look at is, how can I get money up out of this? No. They ass need to be reprimanded. They need to lose their license and be locked up at the same time for killing a fucking baby. Like, I swear the first thing that people look at, not just black people though, the first thing that everybody look at is, how can I sue this business or that business or this? If they did some real bad stuff like that, they asses need to be incarcerated. They need to be thrown under the jail because they took a life. And then not only just that, but they tried to cover it up. They tried to cover up the fact that they killed her baby. How sickening is that? I seen another video where a black woman pushed her baby out, and no, she didn't push, she had a C-section, and they dropped the freaking baby, yo. Dropped the baby on the floor. The doctor dropped the baby on the floor. And the nurses was looking like, but the nurses wasn't no better, because at that point you should have spoke up. I don't give a damn who in charge. You should have spoke up. And they tried to cover up that they dropped the baby. This world is so sick. Like, you legit cannot trust nobody nowadays when it come down to you giving birth, having a baby. It's hard. It's hard to really trust people. And like I said, we as black women, we need to have as much support as possible in a delivery room with us. A lot of people need to be in there. This is why I always stress every time I make a video and speak on deep subjects, I always say, we as family, we need to stick together. This is where family need to come in at. Y'all be so focused on, oh, I got into it with her, last year or 2 years ago, and it's gonna stay that way. Like, people literally hold no accountability for their actions nowadays. It's so crazy. It's like accountability don't even exist. I got cousins and stuff that I got into it with like 8 years ago, and they still don't want to talk to me. And not only just that, but I tried reaching out before and they still don't want to talk to me. And it wasn't even that serious. Something so small, something that can be resolved. Especially being family, I feel like certain situations that don't fall too far down a rabbit hole can be resolved, but people just don't want it that way. Like, they just feel like they'll be stupid if they try to like make amends and make things right. But honestly, back to what I was saying though, as far as like DCFS, CPS getting involved in these hospitals and stuff like that, it's really the racism, y'all. It be the racism, man, for real. And it be like, in order for a person of any other race to feel some type of way about a black woman, it gotta be real personal. You dealing with some strong insecurities in your own life, or you probably just mad because she know how to voice her opinion. How is it to be outside in this cold cell? But like, for real, like the lady that did that though to me, y'all, this lady, she was just mad because I told her off. Because she started to ask me personal questions because I was trying to get help from her, because I heard that she was in charge. And I was trying to get help from her, and she literally started asking me personal questions about my other children and why they aren't in the hospital with me. And I'm like, first of all, my husband is right here. That's number one. That's all that should matter. Hold on. I gotta fight a bee. But I love the baseball field. Like, it's my favorite setting. But honestly, y'all, I told her, I'm like, my husband is here with me. That's all that should matter. First of all, I thought that your kids can't be up here at the hospital with you. So what are you talking about? I was like, and don't worry about my kids. This ain't got nothing to do with them. She instantly started being racist as hell towards me, y'all. She started talking about how, well, she feel like if she put me in a certain program, that's going to help me. She just want to make sure I'm not going to cause any problems. My husband won't cause problems. And my children, where are they? And I was like, don't worry about my kids. This is for me and my husband and my son, who's in the freaking NICU. Fighting for his life to keep breathing. Because he was born early. And I told her, I'm like, if you can't help me, just don't worry about it. I'm good. I don't even I'm like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'll ask somebody else, for some help, or I'll just look for other avenues or whatever. She got mad as hell, y'all, because I wouldn't tell her what is going on with my personal life. So she went to go dig up some stuff, and at that point, she calls DCFS. Very racist. And I told her to her face, because she had the audacity to come back into the room, because they moved us to another room or whatever with my son. They had moved us to like 3 or 4 different rooms, and that was pissing me off. But like, they moved us to another room with my son, and we in there, just me and my husband just talking and holding my son and stuff like that. And she brings her ass down there after she did all of that, called DCFS on me and everything. She brings her ass down there to start more shit. She asked the nurse, she told the nurse, can you step out of here so I can talk to the parents? I'm thinking like, okay, maybe she got some resources. She hands me a stack of papers talking about you could just call these numbers. I was like, ain't that your job to do? Like, and then I started looking through the papers. I was like, oh, I called this person, called that person, called that person, called that person the whole time, my whole stay here. So you're telling me to do something that I already did. I've been doing the footwork. What have you done? Nothing but cause problems. And then it was like after that, she ended up like using the fact that I had an open case to the best of her ability. And she started calling them, lying on me, talking about I'm extremely irate. And first of all, let me tell y'all something. I don't know how many of y'all women out there had gave birth to a premature child, but that is got to be one of the most sensitive. That was one of the most sensitive situations that I ever been through in my freaking life. Real talk. And I don't have time, and I don't have any room to be disrespected, me or my husband. My son is in a NICU with tubes stuck all down his throat. All in his, and you coming in here to argue with me? Are you serious? So my husband, he had to step in, and he told her off. We in here with our son. You worried about the wrong stuff. You supposed to been helping her instead of trying to bash her or use your racism against her to not help her. And not only that, but you called DCFS on us for no apparent reason. She said, no, I did have a reason to call DCFS. I said, that was never up to you. It wasn't up to you to do it. You didn't have to do it. My caseworker already knew what was going on. You think she didn't already handle the situation? But she made it worse because she made up lies on me and lied, and she said I was being very irate. I acted like I wanted to become physically aggressive, all type of stuff, just lying on me. But like I said, I don't know how many of y'all mothers and y'all fathers have been in the hospital with a premature child that you just gave birth to. But that is very sensitive. You want that time, and you want to spend time with your child. You want your child to get better so he or she can get out of the NICU. You don't want to see your baby with tubes all down their throat. And that's the first time I ever had a premature child. Because all my other kids were full term, healthy. My baby boy was still healthy though. He still came out healthy. He was just, born 6 weeks early. But and by the way, this happened 2 years ago. So like I said, y'all can go on my go on my videos and look all the way down there. You're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. I just want y'all to look, and because I had made videos when I was there in the hospital. We dealt with some racist ass nurses. Oh my God. Like, the fact that they found out that we had an open case, right? They literally used that against us. Them white people, they used that shit against us. And first, the crazy part about it is, if you was a real one, doctor, nurse, whatever, social worker in the hospital, if you was a real one, you would have been like, well, let me see how I can still help them. Because first and foremost, my son wasn't born with drugs in his system. Okay, I didn't have any drugs in my system. My case actually progressed, and y'all know I can't even go into that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was doing my thing. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. My only situation was housing, and they were supposed to help me. They were supposed to help me, and they had the resources. Because like I said, they helped me before a long time ago. They had the resources. The lady actually had a program for me, but she didn't want to put me in it because she was so racist, and she felt like me and my husband was going to start up trouble. You don't even know us. How would you assume that we're going to start up trouble? Like, then she tried to tell me that I didn't qualify for the program because I live too far. I was like, first of all, she was like, we have people there from different states. I said, but they the ones that live too far. They from different states. I live in Chicago. I'm like, I have a Chicago address on my ID. Even though I wasn't currently staying there, I still live in Chicago. Like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, she looked at my address too, y'all. And she was so damn prejudiced. She talking about, where is this at? Isn't this in the South Side? Oh, no. I said, this hospital is on the South Side. What are you talking about? And I'm talking about the most worst experience of our lives that day. And, you know, I'm going to just be 100. And I'm pretty sure I can say this, since people be watching my videos and stuff like that, watching me, trying to tell me why I can and I can't say. I'm pretty sure I could say this. Do not, if you in the city of Chicago, or if you coming to visit, if you plan on having a baby, or if you already got a damn child and you trying to take your child to get seen, whatever you do not go to Advocate Christ Hospital on 95th. Especially if you a woman of color, don't go there. Do not go there. Because that wasn't the first experience that I had. That was like the first extremely terrible experience that I ever had in my life. Horrible experience. But like, I've been there before with my children. You know, you just try to take your kids to get checked out and stuff like that. Because kids, they jump off of stuff. They hurt themselves all the time. They get sick all the time. You want to make sure that I took my children up there a few times when I had my children to get seen at Christ, because it was more closer. And also, I always used to think like Christ is a good hospital. No, sir. No, sir. No. I had too many bad experiences. But that last experience was it for me. That was it for me. And I'm going to tell y'all about another hospital too, because this is when my case even started with this hospital in Chicago, south side of Chicago in Hyde Park, Comer Children's Hospital. They try to say that's number one top. They try to say that's the number one top children's hospital in Chicago, I guess, so called. Don't take your child there if you're a woman of color. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That is you basically screaming that you want them to take your child. It's so many hospitals, y'all. Another one too. I'm finna tell y'all another hospital that my daughter had fell and bumped her head. She was like 5 months old. She fell on the floor, she bumped her head. We went to Roseland Hospital so she can get seen. They didn't give a damn about her. They didn't even try to help her. They didn't try to assist her. I kept screaming at the nurses, the doctors to help my child. They was like, well, nobody's available right now. You're going to have to wait. I got to wait. And my baby, she's an infant. She shouldn't have to wait. So we left. Now, this was like 12 years ago. So we left and we went to Lurie Children's Hospital downtown Chicago. That's so-called another good hospital for children. Nope. No, it's not, because if you're a woman of color, they're going to get social workers in the hospital involved. But they tried it, but they didn't see any reason to pin anything on me or nothing like that, because they started to see she actually fucking fell. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. And y'all always be trying to sit here and make it seem like, and I'm not trying to say oh well, shit, that is what it is. No, when my fucking baby fell, and I was a first time mom too. When my baby fell off the bed and I picked her up, I was fucking screaming to the top of my lungs. I ain't know what to do. But I know that I called 911 and the police didn't come. The ambulance didn't come. The damn fire department came. They was so damn, the fire department was so damn prejudiced, y'all. They was looking at me like I did it. Roseland Hospital, they're so fucking stupid. And this the sad part, because even black people can be racist to other black people. They abuse their power as black women, and they got mad when I didn't want to sit there and wait, because they first of all, they never checked us in. We arrived in a fire truck with my daughter. They didn't check us in. They didn't attend to us. They didn't ask any questions. They didn't want to look at her head. They didn't want to rush her to get a scan done or anything. They literally had us sitting there. We sat there for about 2 hours and still didn't get seen. But all we did was complain. And they got mad. They tried to argue with me. So I got up and I left. And as soon as I left, what y'all think they did? They called DCFS on me. Because I left to try to get better care for my child. I hate the city of Chicago. I hate Chicago. I hate the state of Illinois. And I can't wait until I can really travel somewhere else that's way better. Much better for me and my family. Because when I say DCFS at an all-time high here, they just waiting to take black children away. Man, I'm telling you, y'all, they literally try to find anything they can think of to call DCFS on you. DCFS being called on black women and being involved within black families is just, it's equivalent to the police being called on you as a black man and you having to deal with the criminal justice system. It's equivalent, because you gotta fight the fight for years. You gotta fight these battles with these evil satanic people that really look at your children as tokens, as coins. Now I don't even know what I want to title this video, because I see it's going to something else, and y'all know it always end up going to something else. Every time I talk about something, it always get reverted back to DCFS every time, because that's one of the biggest issues in society. It's not only just politics. It's not only just politics, and it's not only just, man, it's not only just politics. It's not only just the I'm so stuck on my words. It's not only just politics, and it's not only just the public school system that we have to deal with in today's world, but it's CPS and DCFS taking our children away, especially our black children, man. Especially our black children. I'm just so sick of us as black women having to put up with this BS. Y'all have black mothers, like older black, you know what I'm saying. Y'all as older black women have to deal with disrespect at the doctor's office as well. So this is not just about being pregnant, but I definitely have had a lot of horrible, bad experiences being pregnant as a black woman and giving birth inside of these hospitals as a black woman than I did, not being pregnant. Because they target us when we pregnant. I don't know how much money they get off of the fact that they getting another black baby in the system. I don't know how much. I know they get a lot. I know they do, but it's just so sad how you can look at a pregnant black woman that's coming in for the care of herself and her baby, and all you see is money. All you see is money. You don't see her health. You don't see the well-being of the child, far as health-wise. You don't see how can I help them. You don't see any of that. You just see straight up coins. You see money, dollar signs is all you see. That's sickening to me. Like, it's sick. It's sick that there's people out here that really legit think that way. And then even when y'all think, oh, well, this don't apply to me because she ain't talking about me. Even when you think that, at the end of the day, they targeting you behind your back after you give birth to your baby, or even when you still pregnant with your baby, because it's a lot of stuff they can do with your blood. It's a lot of stuff they can do with your urine, your blood and your urine samples. And you know what I'm talking about. They really be on some, let me test and see if she's been under the influence just because she's black. And I know that a lot of black women are, under the influence of drugs and alcohol. So let me go ahead and just test. Like, they really they do little sneaky stuff. Even in the hospitals, boy. They be really if it's it, and they do weird stuff. Y'all, if y'all really think that y'all could trust these people taking your baby into the back to get his or her immunizations or shots or whatever you want to call it, you can't trust them with your child, period. They be back there doing little weird stuff. I'm telling you. They be testing their blood for stuff that don't even have to do with their health. trying to see like if the mother had drugs in her system. They do stuff like that so that they can have a reason to take your child. It was like this one lady that was telling me a while back that um she said that she gave birth to her baby boy in a hospital. Now, the crazy part about it is it was I'm having heartburn. It was in her charts um that the doctor prescribed her a narcotic. I don't even remember what it was for, but the doctor had prescribed her a narcotic and had her taking some type of medication throughout the whole pregnancy. And when she got to the hospital and had her baby, all she know was DCFS was called on her, and they came up there and they took custody of her baby and said that she had drugs in her system. When she asked them what are they talking about, because she hasn't did any drugs throughout her pregnancy, they named off the certain drug that was inside of the medication that the doctor prescribed to her, and she said that's what the doctor prescribed to me. You can even ask them. They didn't want to hear it because they said it was in her system, and they tried to say it was in the baby system as well. See, this is this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why you cannot trust, and this is why I say decline certain medication, especially like if you're really not a medication person, decline certain medications for real. Because my doctor tried to prescribe me. I said, these headaches, I just can't get rid of them. Like I tried Tylenol. I can prescribe you something stronger. It's kind of like he was like, it's kind of like a narcotic. And I looked at him and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. I'm pregnant. You think I want narcotics in my system? So that can be something that they'll look at and try to say, oh, she has drugs in her system. Baby is born with drugs in her system as well. Like, I don't want to be prescribed a medication with narcotics in it. And I just don't like being prescribed medications. I don't trust y'all. You see, that's a prime example of how this lady set up here and she put her trust in her doctor to help her to feel better, and he intentionally prescribed her a narcotic so that when she had her baby, they called DCFS on her and took her baby away. She didn't even get to spend time with her baby. They took her baby away. Black woman. Us as black women, y'all, we gotta really fight the system in every way that you can think of. Even if you don't have to deal with DCFS, you still gotta fight through your job. You gotta fight. You gotta fight to keep your job. You gotta fight the education system, the public school system. When it comes down to them doing what they have to do to teach your child the right things and turn out that they really not. You got to fight with the criminal justice system because people will lie on you and put charges on you. You got to fight from every angle that you can think of. You got to fight as a black woman when you take your car to try to get serviced and they try to get down on you. I'm gonna be honest with you though, women period, like they always be trying to get over on women when we take our cars in to get serviced and stuff like that. You know, it's hard nowadays to really find an actual mechanic that you can trust. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off subject. Um, we have to really fight real battles out here. You know, when it comes to being able to keep our children, because see, they don't want us to have our children. They don't feel like we deserve our children. They want our children. And it's so sad because our babies are so innocent and they don't even understand any of this that's going on. Unless you teach it to them. They would do whatever they gotta do. Even if you already dealing with a CPS case right now as we speak, and you making progress in everything, they would do whatever they gotta do to try to keep your children still in the system for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason. Wish I could talk to y'all about it, but like I said, people be watching my page and stuff like that and going to go run their mouth trying to get me in trouble or whatever. Even though I'm an adult, technically I'm still a kid. You know, like, damn, you know, freedom of speech. Ain't no freedom of speech. Can't even say what you want to say because people try to protect. They be really out here trying to protect themselves because they know if you run your mouth about them on social media or in these videos, they already know what's up. There's a whole lot of stuff I could say right now, but that's neither here nor there. You know, we gotta struggle with the juvenile system. I got heartburn, so excuse me. We have to deal with the juvenile justice system taking our kids away. And then, even when you fight the battle and win it, technically they try to make it as if you lost the battle, because they'll do anything that they can think of to consistently pin things on your name. Throw you up under the table. And it's like, you're throwing me up under the table, but I didn't do anything wrong. I'm doing nothing but everything that I'm supposed to do. Right. You know, they really be hating that because they see like, it's like a, man, if I get her kids back, I ain't gonna get no more money. And I'm making a lot of money off of her kids right now. Let me see. How can I keep them in the system? But what y'all fail to realize, though, is this only one person that you got to answer to through all of that you're doing. It's only one person that you still got to answer to. And that's the man upstairs. And that is the Most High. So people can throw me under the bus all day long. And they can say this, that, and the other all day long. Even when I'm doing right. But at the end of the day, God don't like ugly. I'm going to tell you right now. And you're going to have to suffer some consequences for the things that you're doing. All for the love of money. Or for your own personal reasons. Just because you don't like me or whatever the case is. Hey, you still got to answer to God at the end of the day. I can't even count on my fingers how many people I know personally that has caught so much karma behind their actions of trying to throw me under the bus or speak bad on me. Do you not know how many people suffering right now for that? Yeah, your karma probably ain't coming right now, but it's around the corner. Trust me. People really be up here trying to turn my kids against me. That's so crazy. They really be trying to, they be trying to turn my own kids against me. But it's not gonna happen because my kids, when they see me, it don't matter if they see me every now and then. When they see me, they know who I am. They know I'm mom at the end of the day. They know I'm their mother. I'm their real mother. They know I got real mad love for them. Real love, unconditional love for them. They know I'm not going nowhere. They know I'm going to fight to continue to get them back. So it don't matter how hard you try, you will not win.